alumni back to see us and to talk about the work that they've done since they were here at FIU. In some cases, we even saw FIU projects from way back when they were first here. And what's so noticeable, I think, is that each person that we've heard from has had a very different trajectory as they've left here and gone on to do something else. And Jordan was here, graduated in really kind of with the class of 2004, but I think he didn't fill out the forms right or something, and so he actually graduated in 2005. Maybe not yet a familiar story, but might become one for some of you. But I hope not. But and then he went up to Columbia to work on his master's there. Of course, New York City is an amazing place to get a variety of experiences and to see a worldview of things. And from Columbia, he went off to Seoul, Korea to work, and then back to Amsterdam to work with UN Studio. And then came back down here. And this sounds, I mean, it's an amazing trajectory of opportunities and experiences. And I hope when you're listening to his lecture tonight that you think about your own opening up some possible doors for yourself to explore options that you may not at the moment think are available to you, but watch for them when they do become available and jump on them. So with that, I'm going to let Jordan take over, and thank you very much.
I'm going to hold it like this as well. Hello. As he said, it's been a few years since I have left FIU. I was actually the first entering class into the School of Architecture. And I also was a vice president of the founding class for Alpha Rho Chi. Which is pretty funny. Yeah, look at that. That's great. You know, we had to go through a lot now I wouldn't say hazing, no, it wasn't that sort of situation, but we had to drive to Gainesville and deal with Alpha Rho Chi up there, go through the process. It was a fun process, and I'm glad to see that it's still happening today. That's great. So in any case, my lecture for today is called Fast Forward. I've never actually lectured on myself. I have given presentations for projects, and obviously giving a presentation on yourself is a bit difficult. I mean, you know, how do you convey your ideas, or what do you want to show? I mean, especially after the last several years of changes. He mentioned I was in Seoul. I mean, that's a difficult place just to live, let alone work. But in any case, it's called Fast Forward because I really, as looking back, I realize these past several years have passed really quickly, and I find that, you know, when you look in retrospect, these times that you spend in school and in the jobs you will have, you really have to absorb the time that you're there because it really will move real quickly. So, to move to the next slide. I've been fortunate enough to work on a lot of projects around the world in a lot of different companies. And as I was retrospectively looking back, I find that there was two quotes that kind of resonated in the past several years that I really kind of think about or focus on when I'm doing my projects or the things that I've worked on more consistently these past few years. One of them, coincidentally enough, is Bernard Shumi's quote, which I think some of you might be familiar with. This was out of his Architecture and Disjunction book, which is really to appreciate architecture, you may even need to commit a murder. Now, for me, thinking of program and function, I really much align with Schumi. That's great. Thanks. I'm actually going to have a sip of water now. Because it's really about seeing the spaces as a product of the program that they're designed for, not wholly, but also about the projects, the spaces that they can become. So the spaces are not really a full function of what you're designing for in the immediate future, but you really have to figure out what they may or may not lead to. So adaptability and flexibility have been a very strong portion of the way I've been thinking, and actually the projects that I'm going to show you today, maybe you'll be able to